Since ancient times, humans have been fascinated by the possibility of life existing on other planets. This curiosity has sparked numerous theories and ideas that ignite our imagination. In 2020, an influential figure in the world of business and technology, Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, contributed his captivating theory to this ongoing discourse. However, instead of choosing traditional means like scientific papers or press conferences, he decided to share his thoughts through a series of tweets, which added an element of intrigue to his proposition that aliens built the ancient pyramids of Egypt. Musk's unusual way of doing things got a lot of people excited, both those who really love space and the regular folks. It got people to start thinking about the ancient Egyptian pyramids in a different and strange way. Late one night, Elon Musk took to Twitter and proposed a connection between the existence of extraterrestrial beings and Egypt's awe-inspiring pyramids. His tweet quickly gained an astonishing amount of attention. In just 2 hours, it garnered over 500,000 likes and was retweeted more than 85,000 times. It sparked a lively conversation among people worldwide who were fascinated and intrigued by the idea. And when Musk suggested a connection between aliens and the pyramids, Egypt's Minister of International Cooperation, Al-Mashat, didn't waste any time responding. She strongly denied any link between extraterrestrials and the pyramids, emphasizing that these awe-inspiring structures were undeniably the product of human intelligence and skill. To reinforce her argument, she extended a friendly invitation to Musk, inviting him to visit Egypt and personally witness the splendor of the pyramids. And Zahi Hawass, a respected Egyptian archaeologist known for his involvement in the discovery of the tombs of the pyramid builders, took a more straightforward approach in dismissing Musk's statement. In a video response, he regarded Musk's theory as nothing more than a wild imagination, standing firmly by the scientific explanations and historical evidence that unequivocally demonstrate the human origin of the pyramids. Hawass's expertise and experience added weight to the consensus among scholars that ancient Egyptians built the pyramids without extraterrestrial intervention. And in a fascinating turn of events, Elon Musk recently shared an article from the BBC that delved into the mystery of how the ancient pyramids were built. Rather than subscribing to the popular notion of extraterrestrial intervention, Musk found the article's perspective to be highly reasonable and worthy of consideration. This alternative explanation challenges the thrilling yet speculative idea of aliens being involved in the construction of these awe-inspiring structures. The article provided a more down-to-earth and believable account, shedding light on the incredible ingenuity and skills of the human beings who lived during that time. It proposed that the construction of the pyramids was achieved through the ancient Egyptians' immense effort, intelligence, and craftsmanship, rather than relying on supernatural forces. While this perspective might not carry the same sense of mystery and intrigue for those who are enamored with supernatural theories, it offers a realistic and rational understanding of how these remarkable wonders of the world came into existence. Nevertheless, let's dive into some mind-boggling theories about pyramids and see if there's any truth hidden within their fascinating tales. One intriguing idea suggested by the visionary Elon Musk proposes that beings from distant planets actually constructed the pyramids when they visited our planet. Imagine extraterrestrial architects leaving their mark on Earth. Now, these theories have been circulating for ages and come from a variety of sources. One particularly captivating origin story can be traced back to the renowned writer H.G. Wells. After his famous radio broadcast of the War of the Worlds, a brilliant astronomer and science fiction writer named Garrett P. Serviss penned an enthralling sequel called Edison's Conquest of Mars. In this captivating tale, the credit for pyramid construction was bestowed upon giant beings from Mars. Just picture colossal Martians shaping the iconic pyramids with their otherworldly abilities. And as the years passed, this idea kept growing and changing, resulting in an extraordinary book released in 1968 by Erich von Däniken called Chariots of the Gods: Unsolved Mysteries of the Past. In his captivating book, von Däniken put forward an intriguing idea that all ancient wonders like the pyramids were not created by humans alone, but by highly advanced beings from other planets. According to von Däniken's theory, these extraterrestrial civilizations possessed incredible knowledge and technology far beyond what ancient humans could have achieved. He He suggested that these beings visited Earth in the distant past and left behind remarkable structures as evidence of their presence. Imagine the awe-inspiring pyramids of Egypt or the mysterious Stonehenge. Von Däniken proposed that their construction involved advanced tools and techniques that ancient civilizations simply didn't possess. He believed that ancient people witnessed these alien visitors, mistook them for gods, and revered them as divine beings. Now, while some scientists and archaeologists dismissed von Däniken's claims as pure speculation, others were fascinated by the possibilities he presented. His book ignited a wave of curiosity, prompting people to delve into the enigmatic connections between ancient civilizations and the potential involvement of extraterrestrial forces. So, as you can see, there have been imaginative and captivating theories about pyramid construction, but the article Elon Musk shared brings us back to a more down-to-earth explanation. While these theories may sound exciting and spark our imagination, they don't have concrete evidence to back them up. They often belong more to the realm of science fiction rather than reality. In fact, many historians think these theories undermine ancient civilizations' incredible intelligence and achievements. For example, some people propose the idea that extraterrestrial beings like little green men or UFOs were involved in building the pyramids. It's a captivating notion, but no substantial evidence supports these claims. Historians believe that with their ingenuity and hard work, ancient civilizations were fully capable of constructing these magnificent structures on their own. And another intriguing concept suggests that the pyramids possess a mysterious energy and an electromagnetic field that can transfer energy through the air and affect the human mind. However, this hypothesis has never been scientifically proven. While it's an interesting idea, researchers have not found concrete evidence to support the existence of such energy fields surrounding the pyramids. And additionally, some people have proposed a fascinating idea connecting the ancient pyramids to Noah's Ark, the legendary vessel mentioned in ancient texts. A theorist named Matthew Simpson has delved into ancient artworks and scrolls from the Dead Sea and claims to have found intriguing similarities between the Ark and the Egyptian structures. And in exciting news, researchers using high-tech scans discovered new information hidden within the ancient texts of the Leon Levi Dead Sea Scrolls digital library. These previously unreadable texts have now revealed intriguing passages, which is what prompted researcher Simpson to put forth a fascinating interpretation of a Hebrew phrase that suggests something extraordinary about the famous Ark. According to Simpson's fresh perspective, it appears that the ribs of the Ark were gathered at the top, forming a shape that remarkably resembles a pyramid. This metaphorical interpretation opens up a captivating possibility. They might have built the pyramids to protect themselves from a colossal flood that swept through the Middle East in ancient times. Now, naturally, we might ponder whether the pyramids could withstand such a catastrophic event. Unfortunately, this question remains unanswered for now. However, a wealth of compelling evidence points to dedicated builders working together in teams, dwelling in the awe-inspiring shadow of these colossal structures. Archaeologists have found more than 118 Egyptian pyramids up until now. Out of this bunch, approximately 80 were constructed in the Kingdom of Kush, which is now part of present-day Sudan. The rest of the pyramids can be found in what is now Egypt. It is believed that these majestic structures were primarily built as resting places for the pharaohs and their partners during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods. The first pyramid ever discovered in Egypt was located in Saqqara, which is to the northwest of Memphis. But the most captivating and well-known pyramids on the planet can be found in the Giza Pyramid Complex. This incredible complex, the Giza Necropolis, is situated on the Giza Plateau in Greater Cairo, Egypt. The Giza Pyramid Complex includes the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure, along with their associated pyramid complexes. It's an incredible sight. But that's not all. The site also features the Great Sphinx of Giza, an iconic statue with a lion's body and a human's head. All of these impressive structures were constructed between 2600 and 2500 BC during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt, and they are not only historic monuments, but also marvels of ancient engineering. The Giza Pyramid Complex is an incredible site in Egypt, famous for its pyramids and the Sphinx. It's located on the western edge of the desert, about 9 kilometers west of the River Nile and 13 kilometers southwest of the city center of Cairo. This entire complex and the nearby Memphis was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. The two largest pyramids in Giza are the Great Pyramid and the Pyramid of Khafre. These pyramids are iconic symbols of ancient Egypt and have captured the imagination of people worldwide for centuries. In fact, the Great Pyramid was even listed as one of the 7 wonders of the world during Hellenistic times. The pyramid complex of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid, includes the pyramid itself and a valley temple, which is now buried under the village of Nazlet al-Saman. Archaeologists have found diabase paving and limestone wall remains in this area, but they haven't fully excavated it yet. The mortuary temple of Khufu was connected to the valley temple through a causeway, although much of it was destroyed when the village was built. The basalt pavement is the only visible remnant of this temple. The complex also features smaller Queen's pyramids and boat pits, some of which contained intact ships when they were excavated. The most famous ship, known as the Khufu ship, has been restored and is now on display in the Grand Egyptian Museum. The Pyramid of Khafre, also called the Khafre Pyramid, is slightly smaller than the Great Pyramid but appears larger due to its elevated location and steeper angle. It too has a valley temple, a causeway, a mortuary temple, and the King's Pyramid. Numerous statues of Khafre were discovered in the valley temple, and additional statues were found beneath the temple floor. An anti-temple was added to the valley temple during the 5th dynasty. The mortuary temple contained many statues of Menkaure, the pharaoh associated with the smallest of the 3 main pyramids at Giza. And lastly, we have the magnificent Great Sphinx of Giza, which dates back to the reign of King Khafre. This limestone statue depicts a reclining sphinx with a face of Khafre himself. It stands proudly on the Giza plateau, facing from west to east. The ancient Egyptians created this remarkable statue during the Old Kingdom between 2557 and 2532 BC. Now, when it comes to building these pyramids, many people imagine a scene of a mean pharaoh forcing slaves to work endlessly against their will. But new evidence suggests that this picture might not be entirely true. In fact, recent discoveries show that there was a skilled and respected workforce specifically employed to construct the pyramids. They had an amazing level of organization and planning with an incredibly advanced system to ensure these enormous pyramids' smooth construction. These workers were not forced into labor but were valued for their contributions and treated with great respect for their services. They were provided with the necessary tools and resources, and their expertise was honed through years of training. They took pride in their work, knowing they were contributing to creating monumental structures that would stand the test of time. And the construction process itself was a marvel. Massive blocks of stone were carefully cut and transported to the construction site, where they were skillfully placed to create the pyramid's iconic shapes. Considering the limited technology available at the time, the construction's precision and attention to detail are astonishing. The early Egyptians went above and beyond by creating entire communities right next to the pyramid building sites. These special settlements were designed specifically for tireless workers, offering not just homes, but also a steady supply of delicious food. Can you imagine having your own mini town right next to your workplace? This forward-thinking approach showed how much the Egyptians cared for their labor force. They wanted to ensure that the workers could fully concentrate on the monumental task without worrying about where to sleep or how to get their next meal. It was like having a supportive family right there, encouraging and nourishing them every step of the way. And as archaeologists dug deeper into the ancient sites, they discovered something remarkable. They unearthed traces of ancient cities surrounding the construction zones. These findings provide strong evidence that these communities thrived with bustling activity, not just temporary camps. Now, thinking about the vibrant life that must have existed alongside the rising pyramids is awe-inspiring, but that's not all. Burial grounds were also discovered at the base of the pyramids, revealing another layer of respect and honor bestowed upon the workers. These final resting places indicate that those who dedicated their lives to the construction were not only well fed, but also treated with utmost dignity. Even in death, they were given a proper and honorable farewell. So, how did the workers actually manage to construct these massive structures? Well, it turns out that constructing them was a fascinating three-step process involving some incredible engineering feats. Step 1 was all about obtaining the massive blocks of stone needed for the pyramids. Workers would venture to nearby quarries and carefully extract these enormous stones. Picture them using special tools and techniques to cut and shape the rocks, creating the building blocks for the pyramids. Step 2 involved the challenging task of transporting these massive stones to the construction site, which could be located several miles away. So how did they manage to move these gigantic blocks? Well, they employed an ingenious method. They likely used a combination of sledges, ropes, and perhaps even wooden rollers to slide the stones across the ground. It required careful planning, teamwork, and lots of manpower to drag these enormous rocks across the terrain. Finally, the workers faced the daunting task of lifting and positioning the heavy stones into place. To achieve this, they employed a system of ramps and levers. Imagine a series of inclined ramps that served as pathways for the workers to raise the stones to higher levels of the pyramid gradually. They may have used ropes, pulleys, and counterweights to distribute the load and make the lifting process more manageable. It was a remarkable display of ingenuity and physical strength. For the Egyptians, finding the ideal location, though, for constructing a flawless pyramid was their top priority. The pyramids served as the grand tombs for their revered pharaohs, so settling for anything less than absolute perfection was out of the question. They were meticulous in their selection process, considering many important factors beyond mere aesthetics. Technical considerations played a significant role in determining the site. They carefully assessed the characteristics of the land, searching for a suitable plateau that provided a stable foundation for the colossal structure. They also took into account the behavior of nearby rivers, ensuring that potential flooding or rising water levels wouldn't compromise the pyramid's integrity. The climate was another crucial aspect to consider. The Egyptians wanted the pyramids to withstand the test of time, so they sought regions with favorable weather conditions. They avoided areas prone to excessive rainfall or extreme temperature variations, which could lead to erosion or structural damage. In addition to technical factors, they deeply appreciated symbolism and spirituality. They carefully observed the path of the sun, ensuring that the pyramid would align with its movements, perhaps reflecting the pharaoh's connection with the divine. And proximity to the pharaoh's palace was also taken into account, allowing for a majestic and harmonious connection between the ruler's residence and their eternal resting place. It's fascinating to discover that all the pyramids in ancient Egypt were built on the western side of the Nile River, but why did they choose that specific location? Well, they had a belief that the afterlife was connected to the setting sun. They thought that if a burial site faced west, where the sun goes down, it would increase the chances of a successful journey to the afterlife. Another interesting factor they had to consider was the unpredictable rise of the Nile River. The pyramids were primarily constructed using limestone, which could be eroded or washed away by the river's tides. They wanted to avoid the risk of water damaging or destroying their precious pyramids. And the presence of the pharaoh at the construction site was also a crucial consideration. The pharaoh would often visit the site to pay respect and honor to the pyramid. Therefore, the location had to be reasonably close to the palace, ensuring convenient access for the pharaoh. However, it couldn't be too close, as the construction process could be noisy and disruptive to the peaceful atmosphere of the palace. Now, before embarking on the colossal task of building the pyramids, the workers had to undertake meticulous preparations to guarantee the stability and strength of the site. Their construction expertise was vital in creating these magnificent structures, so let's look into the fascinating details of how they prepared the foundation. To begin with, the workers faced the challenge of removing loose sand from the ground. Picture a vast expanse of desert sand that had to be carefully cleared away. This step was crucial to ensure a solid and reliable foundation for the pyramid. Once the area was cleared, the workers focused on achieving a level surface. They skillfully flattened the ground, meticulously smoothing out any irregularities. This process involved precise measurements and calculations to ensure an even base for the pyramid. After achieving a level surface, the workers introduced a fundamental element, limestone. This exceptional material was chosen for its durability and stability. They carefully laid down a strong foundation made entirely of limestone. Imagine the sight of large limestone blocks meticulously arranged side by side to form a sturdy base for the pyramid. It's fascinating to learn that even before the invention of the compass, the ancient Egyptians had their own clever way of finding the directions of true north and south. They looked up at the night sky in the northern hemisphere and observed the positions of the stars. By identifying a special path that bisected the sky, they could determine the direction of the true south. Once they knew the south, they could easily figure out the east and west by using right angles. Now, when it came to constructing the pyramids, preparing the site was an absolutely crucial step. The workers had to create a strong and solid foundation capable of supporting the enormous weight of over 2 million limestone blocks that would be stacked on top. It was no small feat. However, these skilled workers were true experts in their craft. Lifting those massive 20-foot-tall limestone blocks to build a pyramid was the most challenging and exciting part of the construction process. Imagine trying to raise such enormous blocks without cranes or modern technology like we have today. They came up with clever ways to tackle this monumental task, and there are two fascinating theories about how they achieved it. One theory is the ramp theory. According to this idea, the Egyptians constructed steep ramps with pulley systems. These ramps provided an inclined pathway for the blocks to be dragged up to the construction site. In a recent discovery, a team from England and France unearthed something truly astonishing that supports the idea of ramps being used in ancient construction. They found these incredible ramps with staircases, and what's even more intriguing is that these staircases had holes marked on them. These holes probably served a purpose. They were likely used for attaching ropes or pulleys to aid in pulling heavy blocks. But here's where it gets even more captivating. Water played a vital role in this process. The ancient builders knew that making the ramps slippery would make the blocks' movement easier, so they cleverly used wet sand on the ramps to create a super smooth surface. But to make this wet sand work effectively, they needed water. Imagine the scene: the workers would pour water onto the ramps, transforming them into slippery pathways. This slippery surface allowed the massive blocks to glide along with greater ease, making the lifting process much smoother and more manageable. However, the water shaft theory suggests that a series of interlinked canals and moats were used to transport the blocks upward. Floats made from cedar wood or animal skins wrapped in papyrus would be attached to the blocks and pulled along the canals. Pipelines were also constructed to float the blocks upward, and a series of gates controlled the movement of the blocks from the moat to the top of the pyramid. Although using water shafts may sound complex, it's a clever and smart way to move and position the heavy limestone blocks used in building the pyramids. And there are signs and clues of water systems and unusual structures discovered all around the pyramids which strongly back up this theory. However, it doesn't matter exactly how the blocks were lifted and put in place. What's clear is that they were absolute geniuses when it came to building and engineering. Their remarkable structures have managed to withstand the test of time, remaining intact for more than 4,000 years, which is truly incredible. And so, even though Elon Musk and other curious people love exploring internet mysteries, the truth is that there is no solid proof that aliens had a hand in building the pyramids at Giza. It's a bit disappointing for those hoping for an extraterrestrial connection, I know. However, imagine if we were to discover evidence of alien life inside the tombs of the pyramid builders. In that incredible scenario, SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, would probably be among the very first to hear about it. Just picture the excitement and buzz that would surround such a groundbreaking revelation. Do you agree with Musk's theory of aliens' involvement in the construction of the ancient Egyptian pyramids? Let's have your answers in the comments section below.